Hi,
Hey.
welcome to yet another set of Like It or Not. Today we're gonna talk about like how we coped or coped in like COVID-19 regional lockdown or control order, like whatever you want to name it, right? So in Malaysia we kind of have actually it's still ongoing, like at least until like 31st of August. But I will consider now that like we are sort of returning to almost normal, like, but except like we cannot travel overseas without explicit permission. So yeah, so I think we are in Malaysia things are pretty like much back to normal, I guess. People have start traveling. The roads are jammed as usual. Um, yeah. So, uh, Lai, you will start first on how like what happened when lockdown first introduced in New Zealand.
Sure. I guess for myself, the lockdown didn't really impacted my, I guess, work schedule or
Mm,
routines because I have been working from home since uh, for more than a year now.
mm,
So nothing really changed for me except for, I guess, grocery shopping.
mm,
So as you know, when you go to supermarket, um, they have like a SOP to follow. For example, um, there's only like first in first out, so you can only enter when someone else exits.
mm,
And I guess also you may find someone how do you call it, panic buying. So they
mm,
just stock up everything that they think is necessary. So we wanted to buy a flour one day,
mm,
but it was all gone. So that was something new for us. But other than that, not really any practical differences that I saw. Mm, in terms of work, I guess this is true for everyone that's working from home, regardless of lockdown. So it's a challenge to, I guess, stick to the schedule and be disciplined enough to, complete what you set out to do.
mm,
So I can imagine that this can be tricky for someone who is transitioning from office work to working from home,
mm.
where in the office environment, you can
Yeah.
get scrutinized from your colleagues, and you I guess have a lower chance of slacking off. Whereas at home you can do whatever you want. So it takes a bit of adjusting, and I think it's more on the mindset than actual physical work.
Mm,
Uh, but yeah, like I said, I've been I guess training myself for the past 1 to 2 years. So this really uh, doesn't affect me much, thankfully.
mm. So yeah, speaking about getting groceries, right? This is the first time of my life where, like you really can't get any essentials, right? Even like things like eggs, rice,
Wow. Is it that bad in
chicken.
Malaysia? Because in at least in the part of New Zealand where I'm staying, we didn't have much problem getting what we want, except
Mm,
for the flour one time, just
mm.
one time. So yeah, I couldn't imagine like maybe in bigger cities where everyone was panic buying.
I don't think I had problem with rice and chicken per se, but I did have some small issue with where
Mm.
actually I think I found out that like there was a day where we announced like almost 200 cases. It was end of March back then, when the control order like just started. So what happened was, it's 5 p.m. Like just after they announced the
Yeah.
figures. So like I went up and uh, get some chicken, get some eggs. But you know, sure enough, the eggs was sold out. And actually, I was quite stupid to go at 5 p.m. because like I have heard people like in, let's say in Penang, right? When like they went off at about 10 a.m. and the eggs were sold out. So so what's the point of me going at 5 p.m.? No, like maybe they might restock it, but no, like and I was lucky that I was residing in my hometown rather than in Penang because grocery stores are less packed. Because Penang is a pretty dense city,
Yeah.
so like and there are like only so many grocery shops. So yeah, if people just swarm to them, then like yeah, it's definitely going to take a very long time. You know, I've seen people queuing for an hour or two just to get groceries. Yeah, yeah, it's really nasty. But in my hometown in Parabunta, like things are less hectic. I never had to queue actually. I never had to queue. I never had to queue. Except in Ramadan when there are more people, but still we didn't need to queue. Yeah. There were more people, but we still didn't need to queue. But I know in Penang things are much worse. You know, like I know people like in Aitam where you know like they got sort of scrutinized because like you know like there are so many like because there are so many people in Aitam Pasar and then wet market, then like we you know they say, oh, how like, oh, you don't practice social distancing, the SOPs, blah blah blah. Sure, but I mean you know, not that those criticisms all are not valid, but you must understand like there's always so many like wet markets or grocery shops that they can go to. People are used to, you know, like buying like groceries daily. Like they don't do their groceries weekly. I already do my groceries weekly, but you know, like there might be some people who, you know, like they get paid by daily basis, so like they don't have that much reserve to buy like groceries a week in advance. So we see people like buying groceries every day, and to change into buy groceries weekly is a struggle, right? Because so yeah, it's a struggle for them, especially for the elderly who are more used to, you know, like, they prefer like getting fresh groceries, you know.
Yep.
So and then we
Sorry.
Go on, yeah.
I think in a way the lockdown helped us in terms of money saving because we used to do our groceries every 2 or 3 days. So during lockdown we just did it once per week. So I think it sort of forces us to do a better job in meal planning because we need to, you know, plan out the whole week and then get everything at once. So yeah, I think actually it benefited us.
Yeah. That was actually quite an epic time when gardenia was high in demand. Like we thought gardenia is only high in demand in East Malaysia, but no, like it was high in demand everywhere else. You know, like we actually people actually do call their sundry shop asking like what time the gardenia lorry will come then, so like they can swarm them. So quite a lot of weird, awkward moments. Like I wouldn't say they are all bad, but
it's different.
It's very weird at first, you know, like the feeling that, you know, like food scarcity is really we did experience food scarcity, right? It's not that we starve, but like, you know, like the struggle of getting groceries, right? We take for granted that, you know, like they say the supermarkets are full of rice and chicken, you know, we take it for granted, right? But only then, you know, people start, you know, like stocking up, you know, like so and
I was quite surprised that you didn't need to queue because even for a town of 5,000 people here, we still need to queue sometimes as long as half hour. So I was quite surprised that you didn't need to.
Maybe I went in, you know, like non-peak hours. Like usually I try to go in morning weekdays. You know, I won't go on weekends for sure.
I actually tried to time it but
Mm.
every time I go, there was a queue. So I didn't know what to do. So
Okay. Are you suggesting it could be worse if you go on weekends afternoon or?
uh, it I don't think it matters that much because everyone was working at home.
Mm.
So uh, yeah, I guess they have more time to do grocery shopping on weekdays.
Mm.
So maybe that's why no matter when I go, there was a queue.
Yeah,
But
and
definitely, there are like some periods where the queue was longer.
mm.
Yeah, but definitely not like I can just walk straight in without queuing.
Oh, no, no, no. So what happened was because I think control order in Malaysia is slightly stricter at one time when we are not allowed to travel more than 10 km radius from our residence,
Hmm.
and they enforce only one person per car. So that means that you can only have the driver, like
Yep.
and no one else. So so I therefore like I was the interim head of family for maybe 4 weeks because I was the one who actually did the groceries for 4 weeks.
Hmm.
Then like my mom would give me like list of things. I try to put it in a list.
Hmm.
But my mom tried not to burden me like because sometimes she needs those very minor things, but that are very specific to her needs. So like she didn't ask me to buy those. But we have to make, which is not bad by the way, like, but you just couldn't get the best of her cooking because like like she doesn't have the specific ingredients or things like I understand she doesn't want to burden me because like if she put all of the list like it would be quite painful for me like to go like scrub it one by one and because
Well, at
I'm
least
not as experienced as her. Yeah.
your mom trusts you. Like my mom wouldn't trust anyone else to do the grocery for her.
No, the thing is like she can't drive, so like,
Ah, okay.
yeah, and my dad can drive, but he's worse than me in groceries, so like, like I'm the one who can strike the balance of, like can drive and can buy groceries, so that was experience. I used to do my own groceries back in the States, and sometimes, but I certainly did not do that kind amount of groceries, right? Because like back then when I did my groceries, I just need to buy for me, but whereas for now I need to buy for 4 person. So,
Mm.
I need to buy far more stuff than I need to. But yeah, it took it can take quite a long time doing groceries, right? Surprisingly,
Yeah.
it can take
Yeah.
like maybe like 30 to 45 minutes, like because I need to pick the fruit or the meat and whatever. Then I need to weigh them and then things like that. Um, and I used to complain about my mom taking long time to do groceries, right?
How dare you?
Yeah,
How dare you?
now I apologize for my action. Yeah. So it's good to do different things, things that like you don't do usually. So I'm not, I wouldn't say I want to experience them again, but yeah, no, just say.
So how did you cope? Like because you transitioned from the office environment to working from home, right? Did you work from home before, or this is the first time? Like for a
Actually,
long period?
I did some freelancing before, so like
Okay.
so like if you do freelancing, you obviously work from home. Unless
Yeah.
I didn't rent a co-working space, FYI. So it it has some goods and bads. So because I live at home, right? So like I didn't spend a cent on lunch and dinner. I didn't spend a cent
Mm.
on food. But I do pay more for groceries. So but it's negligible compared to amount that I spend if I dine outside. So like I save a lot. Then
You don't need
well.
to wash your clothes. You don't need to do housework.
Yeah, sorta. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I don't need to plan for lunch and dinner. Like you don't. I don't
Yeah,
even need to plan for it. Like you just
yeah. That's
go
that's
down.
that's actually a good point because we do cook ourselves for every meal.
Mm.
So like some days we weren't feeling like it. So it is very nice to have someone to figure out what to eat for the
Yeah,
next
yeah, yeah.
meal.
And my mom like did this for like what 40 years, I don't know, like quite a long time, like shit. Like yeah, so like yeah, that takes a lot of dedication. So to constantly cook for 40 years, like
Mm.
yeah, and I haven't even lived for 40 years yet, so like, so that's a lot of dedication. Because I can cook, but like like to cook for 7 days a week, like 30 days a month, it's another level, right? So, yeah. So
So
what?
the work stuff.
Oh yeah, of course work, of course work. So the good thing is like I don't spend like I barely spend time in commuting, like to and fro,
Yep.
and I save a lot in petrol. But the bad thing is I do miss the face-to-face interaction with
Yep. Yep.
my colleague. And it's not kind of you can always say, oh, it's okay, you can just schedule a
Nah,
Zoom
it's
Skype
different.
meeting. Yeah, I
It's
sure I
different.
can, but I miss the impromptu-ness of like face
Yeah.
to face, like because sometimes like because like if you want to schedule a Zoom, it needs to be explicit, right? You need to
Yep. Yep.
you need to IM them, or you need to message them that, oh, I want to talk to you. Like that is
Yep.
very, it's not that, but back in office, right? You maybe like while I'm just filling my water bottle, or I just
Yeah.
happen to bump into them, that
Yeah.
like the impromptu-ness of it, I really miss it a lot.
Mm.
Mm,
Some
yeah.
may not like it though because they feel like it's a distraction.
Sure, but I mean, like, if he or she doesn't like it, she can just, I got to run to work. I wouldn't stop them if they are running to a meeting.
Yeah.
I won't like hold it. Oh, wait, no, I won't do that. Like, so, I think, like, I know them well enough, to see if they are in hurry or they are
Yep.
willing to engage, in more conversation. So I miss the impromptu-ness. Whereas, like, if you work from home, you want to do the same thing, you need to do a very explicit job. Like, you need to, I am there, or and it's not usually you won't IM someone like, can I just talk to you about random stuff?
I mean,
Like, yeah,
I
like,
mean,
yeah.
can you can, but it feels weird.
Yeah, and yeah, I don't want to get calls from HR, so like, yeah, better not, yeah.
I guess in a way, maybe working in a bigger company,
Mm.
that is more beneficial. Whereas if you are working as a freelancer, most of the time you are probably the only one working on the code.
Mm.
So you don't really get that I know you don't really miss that opportunity
Mm.
in a way.
Yeah, and to certain extent, I do miss, like lunch with friends. Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
we look forward for Friday lunches where like because on Fridays we do get longer breaks, so we can go further. Maybe we can go to a mall. Like
Yeah.
yeah, that's the times that we enjoy. But of course, it costs money, right? So like that's why I say I save a lot of money like not doing that. But I
Yeah,
to
well,
certain yeah, but to certain extent I do miss like eating lunch with friends, like hang out around. We to be honest, we can do that now, but if you want to do that now, you really need to like do that explicitly. Like I really need to like like find them, or you want to go for lunch, right? It's not that we do
yeah.
that naturally, like naturally, yeah. That's it.
So the biggest thing for you is, I guess, the social part.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
and yeah, it's not something that can be replaced by virtual conferencing. I know people have done virtual team building, but I'm not sure if I don't know. I never tried it. Because I think a week or two later, like my team will have some virtual team building, but I'm not sure how it's gonna turn out. We will see. Maybe I'll get you. Uh,
So so would you say your, I guess, actual work wasn't affected that much?
to certain extent, I still get paid, so like.
Well, I mean, did you did
So,
you feel like any different, like in terms of doing work?
uh, to be honest, like I think it did impact my work performance in a negative way.
Hmm.
Because I think my team lead was struggling to get update from me, right? And because like
Oh,
yeah, but because like
oh,
because like in work in office, like he or she can just pop into my cube and ask for thing. But now, like, yeah, and to be honest, like I was somewhat disciplined because I'm more active at night. You see, like so like afternoon, the period after lunch is my weakest point. So
Yep.
yeah, so I tend to be away or whatever. I'm more active at night, in return. And to a certain extent, it did improve my productivity because my like the people that I need things from are in different geo. So like, and by being active at night is actually better because I can just sing with them and whatnot. But but that cost me the communication with my teammates. So like, it's a give and take. So, yeah,
Yeah,
it
I think
did.
this is something I guess most people will need to go through if they are transitioning from office to home,
Mm,
because like I said, you can do whatever you want. So there are lots of distractions. There are lots of opportunities for you to, wander away and, uh, we don't really like to work per se, because
mm,
uh, sometimes when you work for a while, then you may lose the passion.
yep.
Uh, for example, when you build a new project, for example,
Mm-hmm.
at first you are you're full
That's
of
awesome.
energy,
Yep.
full of I guess, yeah, energy to plan out how should things work, and then as time goes on, and you sort of lose that drive a bit,
Mm-hmm.
and that is quite, I guess, pronounced, especially when you are at home.
Yep.
So did you find that true for yourself, or not so much?
That happens even though, like, even if you work from office, right? I mean, like, because you
Yeah,
still need to,
but
you still need to fix stuff even though you are in office, right? So, to a certain extent,
yeah.
but working from home, but at least I don't need to deal with, like, I don't have children at home, so like at least, like, like, I don't get funny.
Yeah.
I have I have had conference with my teammates, and I do hear a lot of shouting, crying noise, children shouting, crying
Yeah.
noise. Yeah, that happens when, but at least I don't suffer from that on the day. But I do
Mm.
suffer from maybe like some, like random TV noise, because the thing is, when I work from home, I really literally work from home. Like, I don't have a room, so like I literally work in a living room. So like, like when I don't have privacy. So like, so for example, my parents can switch on the TV and do whatever
Yeah.
they want, and they should be allowed to do whatever they want because it's their house, not my house. So like, that's fair enough. Like, I can't complain. Like, as I don't know, like, it's not as dissatisfied I am with them, right? I mean, with the TV thing, right? But like, you need to respect, right? They have the authority over the house, not
Yeah.
me, right? Yeah, the house is theirs. So like, I just suck it up. Yeah, I mean, like, I can't get things, everything that I want, right? So like, but in my Penang house, I do have more privacy and whatnot. But like, but I don't have food, so like, that's the price I need to pay.
So so now that the, I guess, lockdown is mostly over, did
Mm.
you find yourself? You went back to the office, right?
Seldom, not really. Like,
Not
even with
really.
now, yeah,
Okay.
not really. Like, because like my office quite have quite a lot of strict SOP that I need to adhere to. So like, and if I don't adhere to them or miss them accidentally, then like I will get a friendly reminder, like, which is not good.
Yeah.
Like, I mean,
Yeah.
so much I might as well just stay at home. Like, they also tell me to just stay at home. So like, hey, just do
Okay.
that. Yeah.
So so let's say one day, everything is over and you can go back to the office. Would you say you would miss the lifestyle during the lockdown, or not so much?
Maybe not so. But here's the thing, right? The things that I miss are interactions with my friends, right? My colleagues. But the thing is, if I go back to office, but if my colleague is working from home as well, right? So like, I have no one to interact to. So like,
Mm.
no point for me to go back to office, right?
Yeah.
So
Well, it's hard to say, because some people may find it more productive when they are in the office,
yeah,
regardless of whether there are people there. You
yeah,
know,
sure.
because you need to actually get out of your house and then go somewhere else and then to do work because uh, I think I'm struggling a bit with this as well because I'm working from home and everything is so I guess available. Like the bed is next to me, I can hop on and take a nap
Yeah,
whenever I
that's a good
want.
thing. Yeah, that's a good thing about work from home. Let's say like if I'm feeling tired, I can just doze off for like maybe
Well,
15 minutes. Yeah, 15 minutes.
maybe
Yeah,
it's,
I'm usually disciplined enough to just doze off for 15 minutes.
well,
And
I'm not that guy. If
uh,
I nap, I nap like for hours. So yeah, it's a very big I guess distraction for me. So sometimes I do miss the opportunity to step out of the house and then go into the office, even without anyone in there, just to move myself literally.
okay. Yeah, so to summarize, like like for us, like, we didn't take it take a lot of effort for us to cope. Even for me, like who are used to office work, like I don't find like work from home life terrible. Right? In fact, I quite enjoyed it. So, how we cope is like try to be more like disciplined, like and try
Yeah,
to have more communication with your stakeholders, maybe team lead or boss, like yeah, so things like that.
and
I think
also family and friends. They are
yeah,
very important to our mental health.
yep,
So yeah, I do try to speak with them
yeah,
at least once every week.
yeah. For my case, it's like yeah, because my family is right next to me, so like no issue. Like in fact, I'm more concerned about too much communication with them. But anyway, yeah, on friends part, yes, yeah, I try to keep in touch, yeah, but not right now. Is things are back to normal, so like like it's and we can even travel interstate, so like it's
Mm.
not that difficult to do travels, yeah, to meet our friends, like so. Anything that you want to add? Right? I'm not sure if anything want to add.
Uh, don't think so. I think that's it from me.
Okay. So yeah, it was fun. Like speaking of our experience, like how weird things are. Like I don't know. Like yeah, I glad I survived it for now. Hopefully,
Mhm.
for this moment, yeah, I survived it. But we will see
Yeah,
how.
I do hope that we don't need to go back to the lockdown,
We will see.
even though
Yeah, because
yeah,
they
even
have.
though I wasn't like terribly affected by it, but
Yeah, because
still.
we have seen, some countries who initially did well. I think like Hong Kong, they did well, but now like they are in danger of I don't know, next wave. I won't even call it second wave because like there will be next wave. So yeah, and we have seen like very developed country do suffer from the resurgence, right? Even countries like
Yeah,
Australia, Israel, like
yeah,
those are developed countries, right? But yeah, still. Mm, okay. Thanks for listening to our random random chat. I do apologize for the random noise, but yeah. Um, yep. This is me, Lye and Kit, signing off. Bye.
bye bye.